Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Corey from Lion Dads. Before we get started on the video, I want to ask you guys to go to lion-dads.com. I got a link down in the description. Sign up and get my free PDF on getting started with the carnivore diet. Just go click the link, sign up. I'll get that sent out to you, and get yourself started losing some weight today, ditching your dad bod and getting started on a carnivore diet. So obviously this week we all know what's coming up. We got Thanksgiving. It's a holiday that most of us here, especially definitely in the States, celebrate. You know, it's a time that we come together, hopefully with family, friends, your loved ones, whatever, and we kind of, you know, give thanks, I guess traditionally is obviously Thanksgiving, right? So like most American holidays and other holidays around the world, this one is centered around food, right? I think the majority of our holidays, there's some kind of, and like most activities we do, is very food centric. That's very much a big part of it. Probably, the thing people think about the most when you think pictures of like Thanksgiving. You see it's pictures of food. It's the turkey, it's the pies, it's the potatoes and things, pumpkin stuff and all that kind of stuff, right? It's all food, very food centric. And like for myself on this channel, what I try to kind of preach to you guys is part of our culture, part of our society, is we've gotten to the point where we use food like as entertainment more so than nourishment, right? Which is what it's intended for. And that bleeds over into our holidays. Our holidays become these big excuses to like sit and stuff your face and eat the stuff that your grandma cooked you when you were a kid, mom cooked when you were a kid, and your family's favorite dishes and things like that. And it gets to a point where it feels almost counterproductive to your lifestyle if you're getting started on certain kinds of diets, right? And so over the last several years, I've been on a carnivore diet, and the holidays always, especially early on in my carnivore diet kind of journey, the holiday season kind of was tough for me, because these are all, there's a culture around eating and things like that. And so, you have pies, you have sweet things, you have breads, you have all these really bready, carb-filled, side dishes and things like that, and things I loved, things I grew up eating, and early on in my carnivore diet, like many people, my attitude was kind of like, it's the holidays, it's a big deal, I don't get to do this just once or twice a year, a couple times a year, these holidays and stuff, I'll go ahead and splurge today, and in later years coming up leading into this year, I've kind of shifted away from that. I got to the point where my mindset was kind of like, I need to be all in all the time. I don't care if it's Thanksgiving, Christmas, my birthday, or whatever. I need to find a way to learn to be all in on my way of eating. I'm doing this for myself, for my future, for my health, and it's more important for me, years and years down the road, to be healthy for my kids and for eventual possible if I have grandkids someday and all that kind of stuff, than to sit and pig out and eat a bunch of carbs and pie and all this kind of junk and crap for 1, 2, 3 days a year, whatever. So growing up, I was big on all the side. Like when I thought of Thanksgiving, I'm not a big turkey guy to begin with. I would much rather sit and have like a rib roast or something on Thanksgiving, but I'm from a very traditionalist kind of family. They're big on it's turkey day, we all eat turkey. My dad cooked the turkey, my wife's big on the turkey, everybody's big on the turkey. I'm not a turkey guy, but this is basically the only time of year I eat turkey is on Thanksgiving. But I do it, but when I was a kid, I always thought about the potatoes, you know what I mean? I always thought about the green bean casserole. I always thought about the stuffing and all that. And my favorite thing to do actually wasn't even on Thanksgiving Day. It was the next several days through that weekend. I'd have that Friday off of school. I'd have, Saturday, Sunday, is making I'd make these big hot open face sandwiches where I'd take a slice of bread, I'd layer it with turkey, and then I'd put a bunch of the sides on top of that, like green bean casserole, potatoes, douse it in gravy, nuke it in the microwave, and it was awesome. That's actually what I really like to eat on Thanksgiving, for this holiday weekend. And it's just, I can't do that kind of stuff anymore. You know what I mean? It just doesn't fit into my new lifestyle, and I would much rather think about my future and think about where I'm going and keep seeing the results that I'm, slowly building over time instead of undoing it and unraveling, weeks of progress with a weekend of binging. Because you really can do that, especially if you can put down food the way I can. And so, it's something I try to not preach, but, tell you guys and kind of inform you about is, look, whatever choice you make this weekend or any holiday weekend through the year is your choice. You do what works for you, what's best for you, but just know that there are, consequences to your actions, right? Are you willing to go out and undo a whole bunch of progress? Because this weekend of eating these kind of foods, especially for those of us who are sugar addicted, carb addicted, addicted to these seed oils and these preservatives and these substances they put in the mass marketed food products in the store, you can easily find that weekend turning into a full week. And you can easily take that week and see yourself saying, well, you know what, it's the holiday season, right? Like, this is like the yummy time of year, right? The holiday season. I'm just going to take this season off. And I'm going to eat these foods, whatever. And next thing you know, if you've been on this way of eating for months or, a year or whatever, and let's say you've lost 20 pounds or 30 pounds, you can easily gain a huge chunk of that back in just a short month and a half through the Christmas, Thanksgiving, this time of year. And it's really, you're playing a dangerous game with yourself when you're doing it. Not to mention the fact that, a lot of us came to this way of eating because of the way we felt, the way we, our bodies react to certain things. And we eliminated all these, substances, these foods that were, hurting us basically. And then you go back and you eat it all again, and you can easily see your day of Thanksgiving that you enjoyed all these foods and you ate all this crap that you really like. You can see that day turning into a really, really shitty day the next day. You'll find yourself feeling awful, sitting on the toilet, you're bloated, stomach's all jacked up, maybe some allergies and stuff came back. These are all things I think about going into this week. Is it worth it? Is it worth me, having that shot of dopamine and, activating my taste buds that way on Thursday, those fleeting moments of delicious food that are gone in a second, unless you just keep eating and keep eating. That's why they're palatable like that. It keeps you eating, keeps you doing it, keeps you going, keeps you wanting to keep eating. Is it worth all that for me to wake up the next day just full of regret, feeling awful, in pain, joints inflamed, skin maybe breaking out, feeling bloated, carrying a lot of extra water, disgusted with myself, unhappy? I think about that. I would much rather eat my turkey, eat my creative sides that I get into. I kind of have some delicious side dishes that I can make carnivore style that are actually pretty good. Eat those. Let everybody else who isn't doesn't quite fit on your way of eating, let them eat the way they want to eat. Let them enjoy themselves. Enjoy their company. You know what I mean? Be around them and stuff like that. But do it your way. Do it on your terms. It's, to me, knowing that I did this on my terms and did it the way that is best for me, the next day I wake up, I feel far more satisfied. I feel proud of myself, and I'm ready to attack the day. I'm ready to attack that next day, get in the gym, get a workout in, take advantage of my, that day off. If you have a day off of work or whatever, get in there, get a good workout in, maybe, do some fun stuff that day instead of waking up and having to lay on the couch all day because you feel like crap. And I know it's not easy. I know it's easier said than done. One thing that does come with it is when you're around people, there's a lot of people that just don't understand the way we eat, right? They don't understand our diet. They don't understand why we do what we do. They don't understand the benefits and the healing factors. They've all been programmed, and society has taught them since they were little kids that meat's pretty much bad. It's going to kill you. You're going to get heart disease and high cholesterol and all this crap, and you need to be stuffing these carbs and seed oils and sugars and shit down your throat, right? That's the way people think health works, misinformed as they are. And you're going to hear about it. You're going to hear about it on the holiday. Your mom's going to be pissed off because that pie, the pecan pie was my thing when I was a kid, and I could imagine if my grandmother were still alive. It was my favorite thing on the planet when I was a kid. It was my grandmother's pecan pie, right? And I can't imagine today, if she were still alive, the reaction that I would get if she made that and I just kind of like skipped over it, right? But she was gone long before I started a carnivore diet. But it'd break her heart, right? If your mother-in-law or somebody has this dish that you just have to have, maybe she makes a casserole or something, some kind of potato dish or something that's just been handed down through generations, and it's a family traditional. People get pissed off and take it very personally when you skip over that stuff. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of pressure on you to indulge yourself. They put pressure on you, and I don't think they really even mean to. It's very personal to them. It's something that they're, just like you're proud of building your body and getting yourself back on track. People are proud of what their cooking abilities. People, and they take it very personal when someone doesn't indulge in that with them. And you just have to, and the other thing is, like, you have other family members that are taking shots at you, like, oh, Mr. No Carb over here, this stuff's delicious, ooh, you're missing out. You get all that stuff, all that shit. And that stuff really, my first, 2 years doing this, definitely my first Thanksgiving, maybe not so much after, but when I really, really started getting into it. But definitely that first one, that stuff weighed on me, and it caused me to maybe bend a little bit through the holiday season. You know what I mean? I tell you this stuff from experience because I've lived it. And my thing is, you got to get to a certain point where, you know what? You can take all the shots you want. You can get upset. It's not personal. It is me doing what's best for myself, knowing how I'm going to feel tomorrow, knowing how this, stuff makes me feel, how my body reacts to it, how I will spiral and lose control because I have an addiction to carbs or sugar, whatever the circumstance is. You need to learn to be able to do things on your terms, no matter what other people think, and no matter how pissed off they get and what they say, or the bullshit kind of shots they're going to take. If your cousin Bobby is there at Thanksgiving dinner and he's talking shit, he's sitting there stuffing his face with pie and stuff, and you're sticking to turkey, or if you want to grill yourself up a steak, which would be my preference, because I'd much rather eat like a ribeye than turkey, believe me. While he's stuffing his face with rolls and pie and casseroles and potato, cheesy, full of seed oils, all this kind of stuff, look at him. Is he where you want to be? You know what I mean? Is he the epitome of health that you wish you could strive to achieve? Think about that. Let people take their shots at you. if they're not where you want to be, don't listen to them. It doesn't matter. They're digging their own grave anyway, right? If they're sitting there, if some dude's 30 pounds overweight, stuffing his face with crap and making fun of me, and I'm in better shape than him, or I know I'm on the road to being better shape than him, it is asinine to listen to that shit. You know what I mean? It absolutely makes no sense for me to take it to heart and have it affect my feelings, because the path I'm going is on an upward trajectory, and the path that guy's going is going down. So don't take the stuff personally. When people get upset, you just have to explain to them, look, this is important to me. I'm really seeing results. I'm really feeling good. I really feel like I'm changing and fixing my life. And I just want to stick to it. And if they can't respect that, and it's more important for you to try their little dish that they make once a year than you making your life better and fixing yourself, that person probably doesn't really give a shit about you. That's in my personal opinion. You know, maybe I'm wrong, but the way I see it, when someone takes my diet personally in their life because it offends them in some way that I didn't try something they cooked or whatever, you know, it tells me that you're prioritizing your feelings over me. You're prioritizing your self-satisfaction of me trying your dish or whatever over me really fixing my life, adding 10, 15, even 20 years to my life by cutting all this weight and cutting out all my inflammation and all the things that have ailed me for so long, and my happiness and, you know, my well-being. You're prioritizing your short satisfaction over my long-term health, and that to me sounds like somebody who doesn't give a fuck about me. So what do you do in the meantime? There's plenty of creative options out there. I'll link a couple down below. You can make carnivore versions of side dishes. We do it a little bit in my house. My son and I are the two big carnivores in the house, and we like to have, you know, we like mashed potatoes. We make them out of eggs. You just make eggs and you whip them into mashed potatoes, basically. You can find tons of recipes online using pork rinds. There's a really cool stuffing recipe that I can post down in the description that you can use pork rinds for. You cook it with butter and all that stuff. There are in the recipe, there will be some like vegetable items in there. You feel free to cut that stuff out. You don't need to have it in there. There's dressing, there's all kinds of stuff. You know, there's gravy, there's tons of recipes. I'll try to link a couple things down below. But what I want you guys to just do is do this holiday on your terms. Do it the way that works best for you. Whatever that decision is, just think about it. Use the next couple days, think about it, make a plan. Do what's best for you. Do the right thing. Go to lion-dads.com. Get your free PDF. I'll email it to you. Tons of good stuff in there. It'll get you started on a carnivore diet. And happy Thanksgiving to everybody. And I'll see you in the next one. Later.